The Systems page allows approved users to make changes to the exacqVision server name, license, date and time, as well as network settings. The System page may also be used to remotely view Watchdog Timers, monitor hardware, and even update the server software. The Systems tab contains fields for both the system name and the license key. To change the system name, highlight the current name and type in the new one. The name will be reflected in the configuration tree to the left. The license key is tied to the MAC address of your server's network connection and will determine the type of exacqVision software installed on the server and the number of IP cameras that can be connected to it at any one time. The server MAC address is displayed beneath the key field. If you are updating your server and have been given a new or updated license key, click the Import button and select the key file. The license can also be put in manually. Lastly, the export buttons found under both the license and settings sections can be used to back up your server. This is highly recommended to save time in the case of a reinstall. The Date Time tab allows the user to change the date and time of the server. To change the time zone of the server, use the drop-down menu and select the appropriate time zone, and then click on either DST for Daylight Savings Time or Standard if Daylight Savings is not observed in your area. The Time server, when enabled, will periodically synchronize the server to either an external or internal time server, depending on which is entered. Note that date and time synchronization will not properly execute if the server does not have a valid DNS setting. Finally, if the cameras need to have their own times synchronized to a server other than the exacqVision server, enter the address in this field. Click Apply to save the changes. If you choose the Enable Override box and use a hostname, the cameras will need to have a valid DNS configured. You may need to contact your network administrator to make certain you are using the correct settings. The Network tab can be used to change the network settings on the system. A list of available connections is shown on the left-hand side. To configure a network connection, make the selection on the left and then choose either static or dynamic. A static connection is usually recommended for your camera network. If you've selected static, input the desired IP address setting and click the Apply button. The Network tab also lists two global network settings displayed at the top of the page. Remote client bandwidth throttling will limit the total amount of data sent to all of the remote client machines, which is useful if there are network traffic restrictions. The IP reconnection section controls how long a disconnected camera will take to reconnect back to the system. The Active Directory Ldap tab will only be available for enterprise licensed systems. This tab allows the user to put in his or her Active Directory or Ldap server for use with the exacqVision software. Your network administrator can provide you with more information on the use of Active Directory and Ldap. The next two tabs provide information about the hardware found on an exacqVision server. Note that only servers manufactured by Exacq support Watchdog Timers and hardware monitoring. The Watchdog Timers tab will display enabled timers that have the ability to restart devices should they stop working. The Hardware Monitoring tab will show information about the voltage, temperature, and fan speed of various components in the server. A red alarm will display for any components that are not within the allowable operating values. The Update tab allows the server to be remotely updated either via an internet connection or by using an offline package update utility. If the server has internet access, simply click the Check for Updates button. If the version found is more up to date than what is currently installed, click Update to remotely update the software. The update procedure will subsequently cause a brief delay in recording while the operation takes place. The Show Advanced option box utilizes a software package utility found on the Exacq support page.